that I had lived a decade of my life just trying to avoid giants, I realized how meaningless and how frustrating my life was.
Welcome to the Howie and Beastmode podcast, where we discuss all things business, including growth, strategy, and execution, as well as personal and professional development. Let's join Howie and Beastmode in conversation.
With that, much needed for him as he's been commuting and on the road, doing lots of awesome stuff for his new role and expanding role. And so we're just going to continue our talk on branding that we've been discussing for the past 2 weeks. And we really just want to talk about tonight is execution. And I really just want to focus on a few things. And this is really 100% just my perspective and how I implement branding, how I teach and really just encourage others to implement branding. And so if we remember, the first week, we just talked about what is branding. We outlined, the branding, it's a sum total of someone's experiences with you. And so that's what we're wanting to brand. That in itself is what branding is, not a logo and not other things, vice versa. It's really that experience. And so we want to make sure that that's what we're talking about. The second week, we really talked about how personal and business branding go together, that wherever you're at, doesn't matter the size of your company, doesn't matter if it's a mom and pop, Fortune 500, that personal and business go together. That if you're a large company, the personal nature is the employees, and that you need to empower your employees to be the personal side, because oftentimes you can't, there's so much of a disconnect between the leadership and the consumer that oftentimes you can't do it from that perspective. So you got to empower your team to be the personal brand out there. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're running a smaller, maybe you're running a franchise, you're running a small business of some capacity where you're able to be more of a face and a leader at the same time, you need to do that. You're missing the mark if you're not. We spent all last episode talking about that. And so really tonight is really the execution of that. What is the branding aspect? And for me, the branding part of how JL does it is the content. Whatever content you're putting out there provides value for your consumer, who you're wanting to purchase your product, your service, your idea. On that end of this perspective, we're providing the content in advance. So whatever questions you would be asking, I want to answer them before you ask them. Whatever thoughts that you have about the industry or about the needs that our product or our services meet, I want to answer them before you even get there. And oftentimes it's that question's often that statement is often met with the questions on the back end from those that I'm discussing with is, how do I then get my consumer, my customer, person purchasing my product, service, or idea? How do I then get them on the phone, get them to respond? And the whole point is, if I'm providing the value on the front end, then I'm going to be the source in which, if there's an issue that they're coming to. And so oftentimes how it's related is I want to be the source of water so that when you need water, you're coming to me, right? I don't want to be the one holding bottles of water and selling bottles of water whenever you can go get your own free water, whenever you can go get it. I just want to be the distributor of water. And so whenever you need water, when you need my product, when you need my service, when you need something, then you now come to me because you've been receiving it for free. You've already
what happens. And so when you think about it logically, you know, there's that process of the seeds in the ground. And so what we're going to be covering tonight is that kind of in between phase of seeds in the ground to harvest time.